want to tell you as a spoiler for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. The new villain is named the Garaka. Welcome back, y'all. It's been a minute. We've
Well,
had a few holidays.
welcome back.
How have you been, Sophia?
We have so much news to cover. First of all, Ghostbusters and the Epstein list got released just today.
George Lucas. I haven't
George
seen many
Lucas.
other names.
Hang
Stephen
on.
Hawkins.
That's actually what I was looking up before we got on here.
Oh my god. I've only heard a few names. I've heard Bill Clinton, George Bush. Yeah, we're already
Bill
off to a
Clinton.
great start.
Yeah, we knew about Clinton and W, but people were really contested about Trump.
Was he there?
Yeah, he was there. He's on the list.
Oh fuck. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I tried looking up the list from Axios because that's where I heard it from first, but when I clicked the link, it's just gone.
Oh. Really? They took it.
They took it. Like I'm desperately trying to look for other websites that have the list.
We gotta find that fucking list. That's very
Oh, I found
important.
it.
Yes. And in
It's
case we have some young little squatchlings out there, explain what this list is and what it really entails.
it's like 2,000 pages long.
Holy shit. And for the younglings, what did also I'm fuzzy. Was it basically just a big pedo island?
Yeah, like it's not like solid proof, I don't think, but basically,
Right.
if someone is on the flight logs, then it means they went to the island, and it's a really high chance that they engaged in that kind of behavior.
Yeah, and there was a lot of peddling, trafficking, all that fun stuff, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of trafficking of young
Oh,
girls.
oh man.
That's why everyone wanted to find the list so they would know who's a pedo or not, but I
Right.
cannot find the fucking contact list.
My God. My dad's head is not 6 inches. Sorry, I found I had an old ruler in my a ruler attached to a notepad from when I was a kid. And I'm reading some of the notes. First one's a picture of me, then the second one is like my DSI is 6 feet, and then I crossed out the the feet with inches, and then I marked my dad's head, which is 6 inches. It sure the fuck ain't, and then a pinball, which is 10 inches. And then starting from 2014, I wrote, "This is Stevie from 2014," and then it just went from every single year 14. It's a note like, "This is Stevie from 2020," with a little doodle of my head. So
You
my
didn't
art,
write anything you didn't write anything in between the years. You just came in like once a year to say hi. This is Stevie, and then left.
yeah, handwriting's the same. My art style's a little more silly, but no, it's very similar. My eyeballs changed a lot, like the shape of them. Eyeballs are a very important part of my drawing thing. I have a lot of like preferences in for it. I'm a kind of guy who likes circle eyes, but I also do respect the dot eyes.
You made a whole Punnett square just for
I
cartoon eyes.
I did, yeah. Back then, my AU I was making back then, all my characters either had dot lines or line eyes, and they both live simultaneously in the same world, and they could actually be like dominant genes or recessive. So I put into a fucking Punnett square to see like the likelihood, people getting like line and dot eyes and shit. I had a system.
You
8th grade it was
you
crazy.
had an efficient system.
We had spirit. We had it all, and you blew it. Oh my god.
Okay, I spent like 5 minutes trying to find this list. I can't find it. They just took it from the internet, I
Shit.
guess.
Yeah, some of the celebrities are really, really trying to hide that list.
Stephen
We don't know which
Hawking?
one.
Seriously? What the
That is
fuck?
fucking crazy. What the fuck was he doing over there?
How did they even get him over there? Why was he
Hello.
over there?
Where am I? Oh my god. Yeah, no, what the fuck was he doing over there? Did they have to like airlift him?
Probably.
He comes out to like
They
Iron
didn't
Man and
even
shit. Gets up and
they
walks
didn't
away.
even put him in like they didn't even put him in like a helicopter or nothing. They just had him like tied with a string to it.
Yeah, he has a fucking he like he just come in the future because he's like a big guy in time traveling and shit. Did you
I
ever
can't wait for us I can't wait for us to look back on this footage and find out that none of it's usable because of your microphone situation.
Oh, that suck. If you can, I'm gonna have to like really go in and fucking like up my volume on my end because I have no idea
Like
what I
not
sound like.
but like not even that, like there's still like what if you're still cutting out even with Craig?
Oh, that would suck. We had a big
For
scare in the
any
last episode.
for context, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But for context, if Steven sounds weird this episode, it's because his headphones microphone broke and it's all fucked up now.
Yeah, I would buy two new things. I need a new pair of glasses because I have like a bit of like tension in the side head, and like I'm pretty damn sure, and like my glasses literally vice scraping my fucking head every day, and like it's not that big of a fuck rate, but like you know, if you had something squeezing your head like all day, you'd probably notice and chalk it up
Does
to the
not feel
glass.
good.
It does not feel good. But like, you know, I gotta go get a prescription, a new one, because my old one ran out. Then I gotta order some. It'd take about a month. And I've had times where I've broken my glasses and I've had to like use old pairs out of prescription and probably broke for that reason. And yeah. But anyways,
You
and these
need
headphones out, they're really, really fucking tight. They're shitty ass gamer headphones, like, and they're like squishing the top of my head, and they're like giving me the Tyler One dent. You know who Tyler One is? Look up the Tyler One dent on Google.com. I regret it.
I
I
love
know.
Tyler One. I wonder how he's doing.
Wonder how he's doing. I wonder how this.
Did the dent fill out?
He like gets and he like blows the dent back, or it fills the hole in.
Oh, it's like in Looney Tunes where they get like someone hits their soft spot, so they just plug their nose and mouth and breathe really hard,
Yeah,
and it inflates back.
exactly. Oh my god. How was your Christmas?
I fell asleep at like 6 p.m. Christmas Day,
That's
and
amazing.
I woke up again because we had to go to my grandma's house, and it was the worst experience ever waking up.
No.
Because I got like, have you ever been in that situation where like you fall asleep and just when you're barely in deep sleep, like REM cycle sleep, you have to wake
Oh.
up?
Yeah, no, that shit sucks. It's like it throws off your whole fucking like equal. It's like you got ripped out of time and space.
Like your body doesn't know what to do. Like it wants to go back to sleep, but you can't.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking scary. I've been falling asleep more lately. I've been just like passing out at like 2 o'clock. I'm like, just fucking take a snoozer.
We're still in holidays mode.
I can't be in holiday mode. I gotta start waking up at 7 next month,
It,
and I'm not so excited.
how early do you have to start waking up now?
7 because my class is 9, and it's I gotta wake up for like an hour. It's a fucking 30-minute, like it's a 15-minute drive and a 15-minute walk to class.
Jesus.
That's how it's always been. But like,
Do you
yeah,
already have to start next week?
yep. I'm not looking forward to it, not gonna lie.
I don't start until the 16th.
Damn. Fucking hell, you ended really late.
And
You
it's
were like
all
into December.
like online classes this time.
Oh, lucky. I'm taking 6 classes, and half of them are online, and half of them are in person, and half of them are 3 hours long.
See, I think that's why I was able to take like 18 credits at a time because they were all online. It was way easier for me.
Yeah, I did some of them like early and stuff too, where they all like go in the whole semester.
Like, I always got confused when people were like so surprised that I took 18 credits. Like, it wasn't that difficult for me, but like now I understand it's because people taking like 18 credits when it's all in person classes, yeah, they're gonna die.
Yeah, no, it sucks. It's like, and in person, like you got to go there, and it's just like, all right, I'm going to class. I'm doing all this fucking like traveling and shit just to go to like one fucking class today, and then like sometimes you have one like later in the day. So it's like, all right, do I stay there or like talk to people, or do I just like go home for a couple hours?
This
It's like,
whole class could have been an email.
yeah, like dead ass. Like, I have one class. Thankfully, I'm with like Bosch and that, but like, it's just want like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If you want a class, if you're taking a class, you want it to be an easy class. I don't care how fucking stupid the class is. If the teacher sucks, but the shit is easy, it's an easy A, and it just takes up just stupid time. That is better than like a dog shit teacher with a dog class, or
Yeah.
a good teacher with a bad class. I will take that any day. But sometimes it's just like I have to go to a film class. I'm a film student, if you guys don't. And from what I've heard, the teachers kind of ask. Basically, you're just watching movies for 3 hours. All right, all right.
So, like, what's the second best combo? Because the best combo is good teacher, good class. Is the second best combo, like what you said, easy class, but a dog shit teacher?
Yeah, like if it kind of it's like a it's like if the class is like the teacher dog shit, that means the shit's gonna be really easy. But there could also be like extra like residual things like oh he doesn't grade until like the end of the semester, so you know like what kind of grade you're gonna get. Like
Dude,
sometimes
dude,
that's
dude,
the
dude,
worst.
that's actually, oh my god, I can't believe. Okay, so I'm I'm a Redditor. I have Reddit, and I
Living
like
in
to read subreddits that have no relation to me whatsoever. Like, there
yeah,
is no reason I should be reading information from them. And one of them deals a lot with like the teachers subreddit. So
yeah.
I read stuff from teachers and from students.
Whoa.
And that's been a major complaint that's been going on since it's the end of the semester from both students and teachers. Teachers
Yeah.
are barely uploading all of their grades at the end of the semester. So students who previously had like an A in the class, their grade immediately dropped to a D or
Yeah.
a C.
No, it's scary. You don't know. It's like you're just waiting for that bomb to drop.
And like, it's completely unfair because if a student doesn't know that they're doing bad, then they can't
How
fix
true.
it. It's
Yeah,
literally sprung on them.
exactly. It's just like how am I prove how am I gonna know most importantly grading style looking for? Are you one of those to look take a glance at the fuck kid like I'm sure he did it, or are you get those fuckers who reads the whole thing and gets your 2 TAs to read it? Shit sucks.
And like, apparently, like for the good teachers, like the actually good teachers, this annoys the shit out of them because they have coworkers who do it. But like, I rarely see teachers who do that, like talk about it, like their justification for why they grade so late.
Yeah. What is her
But
just
like, I'm really curious what their defense is.
Yeah, I'm curious. You're like, well, we're really busy. Sir, you have an online you are a proctor. You're a fucking proctor. You even know my fucking no.
They're the they're the ones who gave out 50 assignments per student.
Yeah, exactly. The worst ones are like they're all the worst. That's like the ones like 5 assignments and that's it, and they grade it all. So it's like if you have one, maybe two, you're done.
You're done. You're
You're
done.
done. like I'm glad I passed straight A's, thumbs up, apple in the pie. But like I don't like that fucking waiting. It's just scary. Hey Sophia, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I got a little something in my throat.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. We don't have a bathroom, but there's a big pit. I'm really trying not to hit the walls of it because like it just slides down the walls of it. I'm gonna like make a perfect drop right down the hole, you know. All right, back.
Ew. Knowing him, it's either going to be 20 minutes or 2 minutes. There's no in between with him. What do I even talk about for like what until 10:30? It's like 20 minutes. Is there? I think Percy Jackson came out, if what I'm hearing is right. The new Percy Jackson in the Olympian show. So, how many of you guys were Percy Jackson fans? Cause that was like the biggest thing. Besides Hunger Games, Percy Jackson was a huge book series for kids when I was in school, especially me. And I wonder which came first, the obsession with Greek mythology or the obsession with Percy Jackson. I think it might be the obsession with Greek mythology first and then Percy Jackson. Because for some reason, like, okay, when you were a kid, there was like a handful of things you could be obsessed with: Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology, the Romans, pirates, or that you were that weird niche of kids who were into the Titanic. Those were the only things you could be interested in as a kid. I was into Greek mythology. I dabbled in Egyptian, but Greek was my bread and butter. Like, that was what I was into the most. So I was into Percy Jackson a lot, but there was also this show that aired on Cubo that's called Class of the Titans. One of the best fucking shows, like one of the best cartoons ever. So the basic premise is that the descendants of Greek heroes and myths and gods, they're all like teenagers living in the modern day, and they all end up coming together to like a high school that trains them to be like warriors and stuff. It was really cool because, okay, I think they were descendants of Athena, Artemis, Patroclus, Achilles, Hercules, Narcissus, Odysseus. I think that was it. It was a really cool show, and their villain that they were fighting against was Zeus's dad. I can't remember Zeus's dad's name. Cronus. It was just a bunch of teenagers fighting against this literal old world god, like literal death incarnate. It was the funniest shit. It was a real like Sonic versus Eggman dynamic they had going on. But I think it stuck out to me because it was more grown up than what Kubo had available at the time. Like, there were more risque jokes than what I could get from other shows on Kubo. It did good with the Greek mythology stuff too. Like, they would bring in like other characters from Greek myths, and they would have like parallels between the myths. Like, they would like modernize the stories is what I'm trying to get at. I remember too, there was this really sweet dynamic they had between, what was his name? I think it was Hephaestus and let me look this up really quick. Venus. Was it Venus? Aphrodite. So in the original Greek myth, Hephaestus and Aphrodite are married, and a lot of people interpret it as just like, oh, she doesn't want to be really married to him. But in Clash of the Titans, they were like one of the best couples on the show. Like, Aphrodite loved Hephaestus, and Hephaestus loved Aphrodite. It was a really cute dynamic. I loved it. It's like for some reason, it's one of the most memorable things I can think of from the show. And like, I kind of like that about Greek mythology. Like, you can kind of interpret it however you want, even though there are some like set in stone like things from the myths, like how people interpret Medusa. Like, I think it was originally supposed to be interpreted that the head full of snakes that turned people into stone was like supposed to be a punishment because she had the audacity to be raped by Zeus in Athena's temple. But a lot of people think of it as like protection because she turns everyone she sees into stone, so like no one can really hurt her again, at least until Perseus came along. But yeah, I don't know. Mythology is like really fun to play around with. Like you can literally just do whatever you want with them. They're just your little guys you can play around with. And if anyone says anything, then who cares? Like no one really follows like Greek religion anymore or like puts much weight into Greek mythology and legends. So like what's the harm? You can do whatever you want with them. Like, and we have like really cool interpretations of Greek mythology because we have Percy Jackson, we have Clash of the Titans, we have Hades Town, we have Hades the game, like, and we have Song of Achilles and Patroclus. Like, literally everyone's doing whatever they want with them, and it's cool. It's awesome. We just have these really cool characters, and we're not really doing anything with them. When I was in elementary school, and we were first doing, when we were first learning about mythology, there was this one animation that my teacher showed us that like stuck in my mind. Like it's burned into there. It was called Mount Olympus Hotel and Amusement Park. I watched this in 5th grade, I think. Let me check if it's still up. I really hope it's still up. Mount Olympus Hotel and Amusement Park. Oh no, is it gone? And wait, it can't be gone. This was like one of the most influential cartoons. There's no way it's gone. Ah. Oh wait. How could I forget Hercules from Disney? That's like the most well-known interpretation of Greek mythology. Anyways, yeah, I can't find it. Maybe I'm just misremembering the name, but from what I remember, it was like a cartoon about how in the modern age Mount Olympus got commercialized and they turned it into a hotel and water park. So instead of it being like this pedestal high up in the mountains that only the gods could get to, literally anyone can go there for like a 2-week vacation or whatever. I don't even remember the plot of it. Like there was a little story in there, but I just remember the hotel and amusement park thing because that was so cool. Like, imagine going to Mount Olympus where the gods live and you can just swim around and eat ambrosia there or whatever. Like, I hope it's still up somewhere. That was a really funny cartoon. And it was around the same era, I think, as like other YouTube animations, like llamas with hats. That's like the best comparison I can make with it because it was around that same era of YouTube animation, back when it was like more abundant and people could actually animate on this godforsaken website. But yeah, I wonder where it went. What were your guys' favorite Greek gods? I remember being really obsessed with Artemis because of the bow and arrow. I feel like that's every girl's choice. Because, yeah, I feel like every girl's choice is Artemis because, like, she's so cool. Like, she's a huntress. She can hunt with a bow and arrow. She's really fucking strong. She bested men in, like, the hunts and raids. She was cool. It's a toss up between her and Athena. Like, those were the two most favorite ones, and I think Artemis was the slightly more popular one. Um, did anybody watch Xena Warrior Princess too? I remember watching it, and I thought it was really weird at first because it came from like I think it was like the 90s, so it was like the same era as like X-Files and um Starship Atlantis. It's like Yeah, it was like 90s TV. Like you can kind of understand like what I'm going for. But I remember watching it and I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. But then the more and more I watched it, the more I was like, oh, this is sick. This is really cool. And then I found out that, okay, so there was an episode where Xena meets up with Hercules, like the actual Hercules from Myth. And they did like a few episodes together, and then I didn't really see it anymore. So I was like, oh, they just had Hercules as a one off character. But then I found out that Hercules got his own spin off show from Xena, or Xena got their spin off from Hercules. It was one or the other. But it was, but, but yeah, I remember thinking, oh, it was really weird that they had Hercules on for like one episode and they never did anything with that. Bitch, it was because he had his own show. He had other things to worry about. And for some reason, I think the Hercules show was what taught me like the actual myth of Hercules. Because like in school, I think the only thing they really taught us was that, oh, he's a strong guy and the 12 trials, and that was it. But the show was how I found out that his wife and children were like brutally murdered by Zeus, and that was the reason he, like, I think he wanted revenge on Zeus for that, but before he could do that, he had to complete the 12 trials or whatever. But like that show was how I found out that like the full myth of Hercules. And it was so fucked up too cuz they showed how they died. Like it was literally just Hercules coming home and he sees his wife and kids sleeping, and then a fucking fireball comes and burns them in their beds, and the house catches fire before he can even do anything. Like it was so fucked up, and at the same time, it's like he didn't even give the guy a chance. Like, come on, that's not fair. No wonder he wanted to kill God for that. It's like for some reason it's a lot like the like how it's a lot like it's a lot like how in Supernatural how Jess and the Winchester mother died. Like literally they were just burned to death in their own beds and then the house catches on fire. Like why was it's if I had a nickel for every time that pivotal characters, women especially in TV shows, were burned to death in their own beds, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's really weird that it happened twice, you know? Like, oh yeah, oh yeah, I just remembered. While Steven's gone, I can embarrass him. I can embarrass him for like really quick. I was talking to him about Percy Jackson recently, and he didn't know that that's Perseus. Like, he didn't realize that Percy full name is Perseus and that he's literally the son of Poseidon. Because I was recalling, like, some events from the book to him. Like, at first I was telling him about the orchid scene from the casino for the people who know it. And then I was telling him, oh yeah, he just killed Medusa. Like he had an iPod and he used it as a mirror to kill Medusa. And he was like, oh, like Perseus. And I had to go, Stephen, Percy. And he lost his mind. He didn't know this whole time. And he had a fish named after him. He had a fish named Perseus. It was an elephant-eared betta fish, which is like really cool. It's one of my favorite kinds of betta fish. He named it Perseus, and he didn't know that Percy Jackson is him. Like that's literally your guy right there. um, poor Percy. But yeah, like it's been a long time since I've seen the Percy Jackson movie. Like the first one, I remember liking it, but a lot of people did not like it. Like they rejected it, they rebuked it, they wanted burned in the fires of hell. I don't remember it being that bad, but knowing my memory, it probably was as bad as the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender movie. I just I think the scene with the iPod is like the one that everyone remembers it for because the iPod is just so iconic. He uses it as his mirror shield. Like, it's right there. It's perfect. Imagine going to theaters and seeing that. Like, a cultural reset moment. Man, Zeus was a bitch. That's all I can really say about Greek mythology. Zeus was a fucking bitch. No wonder everyone was out to get him.
Yeah, sick.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.